Hashtag Alex build here. The Black Panther. Right, well, we're going to talk through the bodywork here, and let's start with the bonnets and where it all began, which was with the Classic. Now, we're using the kitcar here as a bit of a mock-up for you guys, but the Classic bonnet here fitted on in a sense of, had a very wide scoop, but very, well, not that tall really. You know, it's quite, height-wise was a bit low in that sense, but it was designed to do some engine clearances on Pintos and a few other models. And the bike engines then generally had an air filter which poked out of here. So that's the Classic. You can still, that is still available if you damage one or bend one, or you still want to build a car because you like that design, that's also still available. So next in the queue, what's next I see you ask? Well, it's the Essex. So the Essex bonnet on here, totally different scoop, much longer, slimmer, but also much taller. Now the reason we designed this particular scoop was to accommodate some of the more modern engines and the taller engines there. So when you've got the Honda S2000, the K20, or the Booster engine, for example, you want to keep all the filters and everything underneath here, and including the Mazda VVT, which had the VVT stuck under here, that's what that's designed for. So if you're looking Honda, S2000 or bike engines, this is designed to then fit all the filters under there, keep the cleaner, sleeker look. Weight-wise, they're all pretty much the same, a little bit heavier with a bigger scoop, but in general it's the same. Long, sleek, plenty of clearance. So the final bonnet in the range is the flat bonnet. Now you can use this on other cars, etc., but we call it the cup bonnet. The cup bonnet is designed really for the sleeker, low look of the race car. We can now, because with the throttle bodies that we do here, the angled throttle bodies of the cup, we can actually fit it all under a flat bonnet. But you could fit that on other models if you've got the engine height clearance, if you want to go to the lower sleek look. But that is the cup bonnet. So 3 bonnets, Classic, Essex, and the cup bonnet all explained. Right, so we've done the bonnets, let's move on to the nose cones. Nose cones, let's start at the beginning again, the Classic. Classic here, very simple design, has these bulges here which were designed really for the early Classic chassis, which had bolts in here to basically stop impediment for IVA really, for the nut and bolt radius. They did some earlier flatter versions of this as well, but the Classic one still does this and will still fit with any of the nose cones as well in that design. So if you like this kind of design, that's still an option that's available. Right, moving on, from there we developed the Essex one, which is basically exactly the same, except we flattened all the sides down, as you can see from there, and we'll get some pictures in there, and we moved the bottom radius here. This is extended down and flatter on the bottom. So the Essex one, and we're going to walk over to a car right now and show you it on the orange car here, as it is fitted. Now, this was designed now so you can actually just bolt it into the side panels and fixing points in 3 places and just one at the top there. So it gives it a sleeker line, basically follows completely the whole side panel down the side of the vehicle. Right, now we move on to the final nose cone in the range. This is the cup nose cone. Literally hot off the press, this one, only just really gone through the mould process, and that is our in production. It is designed for the cup car really, so if you don't have headlight bars and things like that, because this would interfere with the headlight bar coming out. Now you could fit this to your car here, but you'd have to retrofit it and some trimming would be required. But the whole idea of the cup one is designed for more airflow in front of the vehicle, more cooling. Obviously these are race cars, we want to get as much airflow through the vehicle there, through the cooling packages, the radiator, oil coolers, etc. as well. And also later on, we're thinking that we may want to go some turbocharging and stuff like that. So this is going to be some ducting, it will go into an intercooler and so. That's a little bit down the line. But so we've got 3 nose cones, cup nose cone, Essex nose cone with the flat sides, and the Classic with a bulge on the side here. Right, now we're going to move on to the rear of the car and the bodywork. Well, we'll start off with the Classic. Now, the Classic bodywork, basically here, the rear tub, rear arches and side panels. These are all 3 individual components. We had a join part here as a section. On the side here, and we did 2 different arch sizes. Now currently this one has the wide arch, which is 345mm, and the standard arch, which is 285mm. Both of those options are available. So if you put in more tyre, more wheel, you go for the wider arch. The standard one accommodates sort of up to a 195 tyre on the rear here. Sometimes you squeeze a 205, but generally a 195 tyre, and you can go plenty on these. You can get 8 to 10 inch rims stuck under here, no problem at all. Now the difference is, it's a classic one, it's just a slim design, and the arches you have to bolt on separately. There is no follow-up line, and the side panels is not blended in any way into the arches. So it's very much square in a 3-car component. Now in comparison to the Essex bodywork, the Essex bodywork again is a 3-part section. So we've got rear tub, side panel and rear arch. Now the rear arches only come in a 285mm wide, but where we have now incorporated a 30mm flange into this section where it pushes off and it all blends in, there's no trim required on these, they fit seamlessly into both sections. So it bolts on here to here, you've got 2 bolts, and then the rear arch. You can now accommodate up to an 8-inch wheel, no problem with a 205 section tyre as standard. The panels are designed to be modular and quick and easy to change. It all bolts together as one piece. So you can bolt all of this together and fit it on to the tub. And the second thing is, when you move to the front of the vehicle, the Essex panels finish at the front here. There is no holes or no panel here, as in the Classic. The Classic has panels that go right away forward, and you have to cut all the holes out for the bodywork as well. So they're the main functional differences between the side panels. The rear arches are blended in on the Essex one, and then they are not blended in on the Classic. You require a P-trim between the body panels. Well, hopefully that explains it, but you never know, you may have some questions, or you may want to come down to the factory here and look at the options that are available on your bodywork, but they are all available to order online. Right, over here in the workshop, we'll go to the RX-5 MC, the yellow one. Well, she's had her stripes fitted. Look, she's wearing her stripes extremely well, always looks really strong with the yellow and black, or as behind, hashtag ToniqR, the orange and the carbon, looking exactly the same. MK Sportscars branded, black, and yeah, this is basically cars getting its final little tweaks and preps really for its post-IVA stuff to get this ready back and off to its owner. But yeah, cracking little car. I don't think you can go wrong with either of these colours, the yellow or the orange. When you've got that stripe kit on them, they look fast already, don't they? Right, something a bit different for you guys this week. This has arrived all the way from Cornwall. It's the ToniqR. Colin has reached out to us, something a bit different. Very modern take on the 7 Silhouette. It's been around for quite a few years actually now. He does the Tonic R and the CB range. This one's got a little 954 Fireblade engine in there. Early CBR 900 engine. They obviously know the variants in this. 893, 919, 929 went to injection, and 954 was the latest one injection. Then it all moved on to the really good stuff, the CBR 1000RR, which everybody seems to rave about. Yay! Ben gives us a yay over there. So stonking little engines, and what's our job on this? Well, our remit's to get it running, wire it up. As you can see, not a lot going on in here now. So remit is to help Colin out, get this running, all wired up, etc., plumbed up. So a little bit of a project for us as well. Yeah, and then he's going to be, I think, putting this one up for sale at some point once it's all freshly painted and running and all the interiors all finished up. But yeah, a modern twist, something very different in the MK Sportscars workshop. Right over here in the corner, we have a nice little K20 engine. Well, what we'll be doing this, well, a little bit of prep work really, because this build is about to start very, very soon as well. So we're going to have a nice Mazda-based car with the K20 engine. As you know, we've done one before, so we put a little bit of effort into this, making it look clean, shiny. Obviously, the factory red Honda wrinkle finish paint as standard. That always looks really sharp. And once we get this bolted together, we've got all the adapter plates in now, so we can start getting the gearbox and all of that prepped, ready to go in. Chassis has landed for this one, so in the next couple of weeks, you'll see this build start to progress. Right, we're over here at hashtag John's car, S2000 car, Indy RR. Well, quite a bit going on with this. We've now just fitted new pair of seats. Just got the final harness to go in for this. Seat runners have gone in, etc. as well. One of the biggest modifications we're doing with it is having a new bonnet, because we've changed from the throttle bodies to the stock plenum. Just waiting for some wiring connectors to finish that one off. And then Adrian and Nat have been now fitting the new cup nose cone. As I said to you, there is some modifications you require when you've got these headlight bars. We have to do a lot of trimming out in this section here on your nose cone, I'm afraid, because the cup car nose cone is designed for the cup car. You can retrofit it, but it is a little bit of trimming and modifications at home to make that work. But obviously it's a great looking nose cone, very strong on the front end. This is up in the air at the moment just so we can trim, do the final fit and finish, and then it'll have the new, new Essex bonnet fitted on here as well, which we just showed you earlier with a larger scoop. So yeah, we're cracking on with that. Handbrake's been fitted. Didn't have a handbrake before. It's a handbrake lever. Handbrake calipers have been all joined up with cables in the back here. There's special cables for the wheelwood calipers, which are here, which you've linked in. And you won't see it down in the corner there, but it's got the wheelwood handbrake calipers as well. New fuel tank's gone in. This is in, we've got the top filler neck one on here. These are very easy to fill, same as we use on all the race cars as well. Yeah, looking cleaner, looking sharper, progressing, and well, in the next week we should have this buttoned up. Right, here we are at the next build, which is hashtag Alex build here. The new Essex nose cone has been fitted, which is the flat-sided one, the new Essex bonnet, and we've got the Essex side panels and the Essex arches. So what we spoke about earlier, all this new bodywork and fitment, it's nice, clean, especially in black. It looks really sharp, I've got to be honest on there. Super clean. And I'm zooming in on this, I want to polish it. Yeah, and then next job is boot box we're putting in. This is having a FIA roll cage, and it's nice and easy actually. You can fit them, there's a bit of trimming and modifying. But once the roll cage is in here, we can run the whole boot box and you get the whole boot area to use as well. So that's going to look really sharp. Seats are fitted, handbrakes fitted, all the calipers are fitted, rear discs, rear lights are going on, got the LED light pack in here. They always look great. Reflectors built in for IVA. Obviously, if you want to know dimensions, tune into our IVA video on YouTube there, and we'll give you all the dimensions it does as well. Fuel caps in, number plate lights in, all the back ends pretty much buttoned up. Fuel tank, diff, drive shafts, prop shaft, all all fitted. And now we're on with doing well, it's going to be a bit different actually. We're having with the customer, we're working pretty closely with him on this. We're doing an aluminium dashboard, which is going to be radiused, going to be skinned. It's going to be nice to see this interior come together because it's going to be a little bit different. So I'm not going to tell you everything. You have to subscribe and watch and you'll see this one come together, but it's going to be a little bit different. So I can't wait to see this one come together. Right, chassis time. Well, if you want to get yourself in the queue, you know what to do. Hook us up on a phone call, email, or come down and visit us at the factory. But if you're in the queue already and you'd like to see where you are on which side this week, Anna? We're up that side this week, and that's where you are. Right now, if you've got any questions about the bodywork or you want to know more information, you can hook us up on a phone call, email, or messenger, we don't mind, or come down at the factory here and talk through the options on the bodywork. But hopefully that's given you insight. Don't forget, its final last outing for the year will be at MSD Live. This will be on the 4th and 5th of November. If you want to come down and see these cars in action, we've got a couple of them heading out. Now don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and guess what guys? Yes, we will catch you next week.